Welcome back, everybody, to another session with Cooking with Billy the Kid. I apologize about yesterday. We got hacked. First and foremost, I want to do a shout out to Christian. Christian is a longtime friend of my son's. Watches the show faithfully. Thank you, kiddo. Next thing I want to say is we started picking people to maybe come have dinner here at the house, try some of the food. Benjamin Ficasso and his wife, first on the list. Gina Massa Costello, if I'm saying it right, Gina, please forgive me if I'm not, is the second. We have Tommy Sable and Del Sable. We'll figure out who's going to come, if they want to come, what have you. Today we're going to do a stuffed pork loin. Okay, we're going to cut this into nice pork chop size cuts. We're going to open them up and stuff them with a little bit of fresh mozzarella. Mozzarella, not fresh mozzarella. Mozzarella and fresh spinach over a bed of polenta. Polenta is pretty much cornmeal. If you add a little extra to the polenta as you're making it, it turns into a nice little cake when you're done. We're going to put this actually in the toaster with a little cheese on it and crisp it up right now as we start to get our dish ready. So let's get going. Let's do the polenta first. We're going to put a little bit of shaved mozzarella on here. And we're going to put that, as we serve, we're going to put that on our plate with the pork chops with the masala sauce over the top. And again, we're using a toaster oven. It's too hot to put on the oven. Way too hot to put on the oven. Let's get our pork chops cut up. While we're doing that, we're going to start on our sauteed spinach, which we're going to stuff it with. A little bit of good extra virgin olive oil, just to get it started. And the pan's already hot. It's already been getting warm for a few minutes. And we're literally just going to drop our fresh spinach. This is already cleaned. We're going to blanch it off just like this. Nice big handful. Right in. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of chicken stock. And we're going to cover it up. Now we're going to cut up our pork. Let's take a decent piece right there. That's what I want. And we're cutting fat side down because you don't want to stuff on the fatty side. You want to stuff on the nice lean side, but you want to keep the fat for the flavor. We'll do 3 nice loins today. Let's get this right away. we're going to actually open these up a little bit. Like I said, you don't want to keep, just want a little opening, make a nice little pocket all the way in there. This way, when you don't want too much stuff coming out as you're cooking it. And you don't want to make them too thin, because traditionally you'd finish this off in the oven, but we're going to do it completely on stovetop, because like I said, it's too hot to turn on the oven. Spinach is blanched off. See all that spinach? You only get a little bit when it's done. Okay. Please be careful when you do this and use a very sharp knife, because if you use a dull knife, you probably will cut yourself. Sharp knife is a little safer, believe it or not. Let's take a nice piece of mozzarella, way in the back. Push right up against the walls in the back. This way when it starts to melt, it doesn't melt all into the front. You don't want to do that till later. See? Okay. Now we're going to take a little bit of our spinach. Nice and juicy. Nice, right inside there, nice. We actually made this last night on our show, and like I said, we got hacked. And a couple of people liked it and asked if we would remake it, so this is what we're doing. Okay, first of all, what we're going to do, we're going to salt and pepper our pork chop. Let's get this pan on, start getting it ready, getting it hot. It was heating up on the back burner. There we go. Okay. Alright. So, first of all, a little bit of salt on each side, a little bit of pepper. Ooh. Get used to the tongues. Then what we're going to do is we're going to dredge our pork just a little bit in flour. come back here, I'm actually washing my hands off so we're not cross-contaminating anything. I'll start off with a little bit of frying oil, not olive oil. Olive oil is too heavy to fry with. That should be good right there. I'll place our medallions right in. Now, while those medallions are starting to cook, we are going to start cutting up our vegetables for our masala sauce. You don't want to cut your mushrooms too thin because they have a tendency to disappear on you. And I like my mushrooms. And these are baby portobello mushrooms that we're using. I'm going to use a little bit of red onion today. Sometimes I like to use scallion with this dish. Well, we did that yesterday, so today we're going to use the red. Keep them edges up out of the center so nothing pours out. You want that to be a nice juicy center there. Cover that a little bit. See how our polenta is coming. Oh, look at that. We have our polenta that's ready. Nice crisped up mozzarella. Believe it or not, that's the way it's supposed to look. And that's the way I want it. And that's going to be for serving as we're ready to go. We're going to put this on the side. Let's cover this for a minute. And we're going to take out, just as a, throw a little twist in it today. Put a little Kalamata olives in there also. These are Kalamata olives. These are from up at the Italian import that we use, Albanese. Very, very good Italian import. They have just about everything you need for the Italian cooking. What we're going to do now is we're going to set these off to the side and cover them for a few minutes while we start our mushrooms and onions for the sauce. here for a second. When we cover them, believe it or not, they're going to cook even just a little more. Okay. Want to rinse this out a little bit. Get a little, some of that cheese came off in here. Get rid of that. You don't want to completely scrape out your pan. You want some of that flavor. Now we're going to go with a little bit of good extra virgin olive oil. Just a touch. Let's get our mushrooms in. Get our red onion in. A little spot. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and some butter, of course. Kalamata olives right in. That's enough. And today we're using Taylor Marsala wine. And remember what I told you, whenever you're putting liquor or wine into your pan that's hot, take it away, because it's going to make a little fire. A little more. There you go. Now we're going to put our pork chops right back in. Soften them puppies up real nice. Now we have a little room here. So what I'm going to do is, we have to add chicken stock, but I want to cover them up so they cook a little bit. So just around this rim, I'm going to add a little chicken stock. And then we're going to mix it in 2 seconds real good. Oh, look at that. That already looks beautiful. And again, this is a pork loin, not a pork chop. This is boneless, and it's really a nice cut of meat. Alright, a little more salt, not too much because we put some chicken stock, some pepper. And over here we have fresh oregano and very finely fresh chopped parsley. Oregano is not a normal additive to this, but since we put the olives, we put a little oregano to make it nice. Cover it up, and we'll start getting our plate ready for plating. And again, I want to thank everybody that's been tuning in. The show is doing very, very well, and that's, thanks to you people. Keep sending in your requests, keep sending in the comments. Next week, I think we're going to do a very simple dish, eggplant parmesan, something like that, and we'll discuss how you can tell the difference between a male eggplant and a female eggplant. And soon we're going to do a cutting show on different kinds of cuts and, you know, stuff like that that we had to all learn in the kitchen as you learn how to cook. We're just about ready for plating. I'm going to give it another minute. Get my polenta. I'm going to put my polenta right off the middle. Right off the middle a little bit. And with the polenta, you could put Parmesan cheese, you could put mozzarella cheese, you could put Asiago cheese. Today, we just put a little bit of mozzarella. Oh, that's going to be nice. Now, we're just going to take one of these puppies. Right up against. No, we're gonna have to go again. We're gonna have to go side by side with it. It's not gonna work the way I wanted it to. Okay. And that's our dish for today. Some parsley, some oregano mixed, and that's our dish. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in with Cooking with Billy the Kid. Today again we did a pork loin with a masala sauce, stuffed pork loin with some fresh spinach and some mozzarella. I want to thank everybody again for sending in your comments. Please keep sending them in. We're doing great because of it. Everybody have a great night. Thank you very much.